Welcome to The Good Effect, where we share the stories of leaders who are using their businesses for more than just profit. They're making a positive impact in the world. I'm Emma Jo, and I will be your host today. Today, we're speaking with Ryan Grassley, the CMO of Extreme Motus, a business that manufactures all-terrain wheelchairs, which is so cool. They're committed to making the great outdoors accessible to everyone, regardless of physical ability. We also have Sam joining us today, lifelong friend of Ryan, but we will get into that in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Of course. We're excited to hear more about your story and also kind of what you guys are doing over at Extreme Motus. And Ryan, you're the CMO. Can you give us a brief overview of the company and how it kind of got started?
So the company was started, the first prototype off-road wheelchair that was built by a guy named Dale Pitts, and he was a firefighter for Provo Fire Department. And up Provo Canyon, one day a family was having a family reunion, and this tragic accident happened where an 80-foot tall pine tree just picked that day to fall down.
Oh my gosh.
And Sam thinks that's funny.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Sam just gets excited to be, interviewed and stuff.
I love it.
Some of the family members passed away in that accident, and there was a young woman who was paralyzed. She still lives here in Provo. Her name's Emma. And she was at school, and the school was doing activities and field trips that she couldn't go on in a regular wheelchair.
Yeah.
And Dale had stayed in touch with his family, and he was really good at tinkering and building things. And you chill out. And so she asked, could you build me something like that? And he goes, yeah, I think I could. So they built something so she could go to the farm and go up Timpanogos and things like that. And it eventually evolved into the three-wheeled wheelchair that we sell today.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Can you tell me a little bit more about this three-wheeled wheelchair? I've seen some pictures of it, and it looks crazy. It's so cool, though.
Yeah, so it's a manual all-terrain wheelchair, so someone has to push it. There's pros and cons to that. Like a lot of people go, I want a battery and motors, but they don't think about it. That would make it much more expensive, heavier, can't go in the water. Like this chair, our chair has these huge tires that have about 4 PSI in them. And that's the suspension for the rider. So when they go over rocks and cracks and stuff, they don't feel everything. But it also allows it to float in the water. So before we had that, we would go to the reservoir in town and we would put 2 towels out on the sand. And then we would pick up Sam, like he's like Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile, carry him across the sand and then put him down on the towels. Because if sand gets inside these little wheels on his wheelchair, it'll ruin them. And it's very expensive. Yeah. This wheelchair is $13,000.
Wow.
So you have to be very careful with it.
Yeah.
Now with the Extreme Motus chair, we can go running across the sand and straight down into the water, and Sam can bob up and down.
That is so cool.
What was it like the first time you did that?
I swore.
You swore? Why?
Because the water was freezing
Yeah, it was cold.
cold.
Comes from the snow, right? So
Yeah.
The chair also folds in half for storage and transportation. It weighs 50 pounds. And it's best for people like Sam, whose disability affects both their arms and legs, because a caretaker needs to push it.
Yeah.
Push it. It can go anywhere you're determined enough to push it.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So you said the chair itself, though, weighs 50 pounds.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's pretty lightweight, and it's very durable. We have tried our best to break it, and we haven't been able to do it. So
I love that.
Oh.
So how did you, Ryan, get involved in all of this?
I had a very good and safe and boring job. I was a video guy for a company that makes pipe that transports water.
Okay.
So it's installed underground, and you have to make videos of it. Like, that's hard to do, right? So I was looking for something a little more exciting, and I was on Upwork, and I found this company that had an off-road wheelchair, and they needed videos made of it. And I was like, gosh, I have this friend who goes bonkers anytime he's included in anything. You guys have to hire me. So we made a couple videos for him. We went on a hike to Delicate Arch, and then they said, will you please come work for us full time? And so I asked Sam, if I go full time for this company, will you do it with me? And what did you say?
Yes.
Yeah, he said yes. I was working for the company full time, we did the Delicate Arch hike. And we had no idea if we could do it or not. Like, we didn't know if we were capable or if the chair was capable enough.
Yeah.
And so we just decided, we had people trying to talk us out of it. There's
My
no way
dad.
you can get that up there.
Your dad?
Take this out of it.
Well, your dad worked with people, and they were like, there's no way, it's too dangerous. And I was like, look, let's just get as far as we can go. And if it gets too sketchy, we designated Sam's mom as a safety police, and she decided to pull the plug. She is. And you need someone like that on the crew, because my definition of danger is not the same. Like a guy who throws himself out of an airplane, I don't do that. But like, his definition of danger is different than mine.
Of course.
And mine is different than Sam's mom. So she's in charge of safety. And if she said, you know, this is getting too scary, then we all agreed to just turn around without argument. So have you done this hike before, Delicate Arch?
I haven't. I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Bryce probably
Put it on your
has.
list. So it starts out, and it's kind of these rolling
Hills.
gravel paths, and then you get to what they call slick rock slab. And you can see people ahead of you on this giant rock that look like ants because they've gone so high and so far. And so we sat there hoping that the safety police would be like, turn us around. And as we were thinking about it, this young married couple walked by, and they said, do y'all need some help? And we said, yes. And so they helped us push and pull Sam. There's ropes that come off the front of it. So it's becomes a team effort. And usually what happens is you're pushing. So there's a handlebar that one person pushes. But I'll get on one side of the handlebar, and the second person will get on the right side of the handlebar. And then you don't feel like you're doing enough. So you start to go faster. And then the other person has to go faster. And then you're all running. I'm like, hold it. We're going up a mountain here. Can you slow down?
So awesome.
But we made it to the top. And the backstory of this is that many years ago, Sam and his family went to Arches National Park.
Can I say?
Tell them what happened.
My mom and I sat down by the parking lot while the other half of our family went up and did that. So when we heard about my new job, Ryan said, let's give Derek at Arch as a try. And we
Catch all
did.
that?
Yeah, I think most of it. Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
So Sam's family had been to Arches before, and his brother and his dad went on the hike, and he and his mom sat in the van.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times, and there's so many families out there who can't go to these places together because they don't have the right piece of accessibility equipment. So we went there together, and we got up to the top, and I go, Sam, we're like, Sam, what do you think?
Cool.
He was like, it's pretty cool. And you ask his mom, what do you think? And she can't even speak because she's crying. Because for 36 years, she sat in the van with her son and couldn't experience these things together. And so I wasn't working for this company full time at that time. But that's, when I saw it, I go, it's perfect for my friend. But I didn't realize how important it was to groups of friends and their families who can't go and see the most beautiful places in our country because they don't have sidewalks. They have trails. Right. And they lead to waterfalls, and they lead to arches, and they lead to all these important, beautiful places. that are not accessible for people
Yep.
like Sam. And when you exclude someone with a disability, you exclude able-bodied people
Yeah.
who are part of their circle.
Like
Right.
the
So that's why it's so important. Like, it, as cheesy as that may sound, like,
yeah,
No.
we hear from families all the time who are like, we've never been able to do stuff like this together.
yeah.
I love that.
That was maybe the longest answer to a question.
That was perfect. I loved it. No, that was beautiful and that was amazing. Sam, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Yeah? Where is your favorite place that you've been now that you do have this wheelchair that can, take you up mountains and on rivers? Where's your favorite place?
We did with a friend. We did the Narrows.
Yeah, the Narrows is in
Narrows.
Zion's National Park,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. That's one of those places that I used to go to as a Boy Scout, and there was like 6 of us there. And now you go, and it looks like a street in Tokyo. There's just people. It's wall to wall.
Right.
But the cool thing about that was, and I didn't realize this until I went back and was editing the video, is that we were going faster than most of the people walking. They've got their special pants on that they rented from the outfitter, and their walking sticks and their special shoes, and they're like, it's the first hike they've ever been on in their lives. And the 3 of us were just bombing up this river. and because the camera is set up like in front of Sam because we want to get his reaction, you could see the people behind us, and they've all stopped, and they're just like breaking their necks as watching us as we walk by.
Oh, I bet.
And it was really cool.
I bet. I mean, I've never seen or heard of anything like this before, and I think it's amazing. I think it's so cool. It's awesome. It really is.
Yeah.
So, if you don't mind me asking, where did your friendship with Sam start? How did y'all become friends? And then how have you gotten here?
We knew each other in high school, and Sam asked
Really?
me to the Sadie Hawkins. It's
Oh!
girl's choice.
My brother Nick knows Ryan. So.
Our parents knew each other in college. And there's even a picture of Sam's older brother and I, like in diapers and car seats together.
Oh,
So
wow.
we don't know. It's hard. We can't answer like specifically like when we first met.
Yeah.
But we've known each other for a long time. And there it was also long periods of time where we had no interaction with each other. And then
His job kind of took him far away.
Yeah.
I work at the most boringest job.
So, yeah, like his older brother Nick and I, we would try to include Sam in as many of our activities as we could, because he has one of those handicap parking passes,
Oh.
So we drag him along for the park. The parking's great.
It's very smart.
Yeah.
And then you graduate high school and you go off and you travel. And I did a mission, and I was in the military, and then I lived.
Wow.
I married a woman from Panama, and we lived in Panama for a few years, and then eventually I settled down back in this area, and I'd pop in on Sam and check on him. And then I had this job opportunity, and now we get to hang out almost every day. Now we get on each other's nerves.
I was going to say, how do you feel about that, Sam? Do you like hanging out with Ryan every day?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Today, Sam's getting on my nerves because we went to a bunch of different places, and he kept saying, let's just leave my wheelchair at your house, or let's just leave my wheelchair at your house. Like he thought he had suddenly developed the ability to levitate at our destination. Like he was the Hindenburg 2.0 or something. It's making me crazy.
I love that. I bet hey, when you can climb mountains, I bet you forget sometimes, huh?
Yeah.
I love that. Well, Ryan, what drives Extreme Motus to do what they're doing, to innovate and do more social good? Like, what's the heart behind the company?
So we want more people to be able to experience the outdoors. It's so easy for people. I'm like if you and I, who don't have a disability, at least that hasn't been diagnosed, if we sit around inside and watch TV all day, it's super easy to get depressed. Totally. And it so frequently happens to people in wheelchairs because it's hard to get them out, that they are just parked in front of a TV and that's where they're at, and they're depressed and they have shorter lifespans because of it. So that's one part of what we're trying to do. Another part is we're just trying to educate people that it's okay to be friends with people who are different. And
I love that.
Before we started, I was talking about how a lot of people watch us on social media that have no need for our product, but they watch us and we use that platform that we have to educate people that it's okay to be friends with people who are different.
I love that. In fact, I would love to go on a hike with you guys.
Oh, you should come. Yeah.
It would be so fun.
People who are strong.
I don't know if I'm the best candidate for that, but I think it would be really cool. I think it would be really cool.
Well, let's plan something. Yeah,
I think we should. Let's do it. We love to hike, so we totally should do it. Do you feel like have you ever seen someone else in one of the all-terrain wheelchairs while you've been out? Is that
like bumped into a customer?
Yeah, or do you ever see anyone using the product, even if you're not together, or is it pretty niche?
We follow many of our customers on social media and we watch their adventures and we like to share them with our followers. We have run into people on our own adventures who don't have one of our chairs. We were in Goblin Valley, and Goblin Valley has all these rolling hills and hoodoos that you can hide behind. Sam and I came running up and over this path and around the other one, and this mom chased us down. She was like, "Where did you guys get that?" Because she was there, and they had sort of this stroller thing, and it was very rickety and
crap.
Yeah,
piece of crap.
And, so
Excuse my language.
It's okay. I love it.
So anytime we're out, people will come up to us and ask, "Where did you get that?" or "Do you need help?" And we always say yes to the help, and then we usually end up making friends with those people, and we take them out to pizza after the hike, and it's a good time.
Yeah.
Sam also gets recognized like everywhere we go.
Really?
He was at Disney World a few months ago. And like 3 or 4 people were like, "Hey, you're that dude from TikTok, right?"
Yeah, from TikTok. Hey.
Yeah.
Can I
never get recognized unless I'm with Sam, unless we're together. But Sam is the star of the show for sure.
I love it. Celebrity status, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's famous. We're just working on the rich part.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
What do you think the biggest challenge with the company itself is? Is it building the wheelchairs? Is it selling them? What has been a big challenge in that department?
There's been many. For a long time, building them was the challenge.
Yeah.
During COVID, we couldn't get parts, couldn't buy. Remember, everyone started riding bicycles?
Yeah.
So we use bicycle parts in our chair. So there was a shortage of bicycle parts. The tires we get come from China. The shipping lanes were closed. We couldn't get tires. When that was happening, someone from England called me. Like, we could only build the frames. So someone from England calls me and they say, "Hey, we are a dealership in England for those tires. And we're wondering if we can just buy the frames from you because we already have the tires." And I was like, "That's actually all I can sell you right now because we can't get the tires." So that was really cool. So we've overcome our manufacturing problems.
Yeah.
Now the biggest problem we have is just getting the word out to the right people. Like, we can get the word out. We can make videos that get millions of views, but it's hard to connect with, the right person at a national park or a nonprofit who can say, "Oh yeah, we want to buy 10 of those and give them away to people." So making those relationships has been difficult.
Interesting. So you would say like networking, would that be one of the bigger struggles?
Sales. Yeah, we are starting to attend more conferences where we could hopefully make deals like that where usually our customers are parents of children who have a disability.
Like,
And so you make one sale to them, and that's it. But if we can start working with more nonprofits, Make-A-Wish has given away some of our chairs.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Child has to wish for it. They get whatever they wish for.
I
It's an
wish
amazing organization.
for a chair.
But, yeah. So just networking, relationships.
Yeah.
We just got to start going to shows to make that stuff happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you say that you said that someone in England reached out to you? Would you say that you have global influence, or is it kind of just here in the United States?
We have sold chairs in Australia, Canada, Mexico,
Yeah.
England.
Do we have a fan of Mexico?
Every time you bring up Mexico, he shouts "Olé."
Olé.
It's very funny.
I love that.
So yeah, we definitely have viewers from around the world on our social media stuff.
Yeah.
As far as the most chairs we've sold outside of the country, it's
Yeah.
England. We've shipped 16 chairs to England,
Okay.
like 1 or 2 to Australia,
Yeah.
maybe 10 to Canada, but most of our sales are in the United States. Shipping, when you start shipping international, it's a
Hard.
headache. You have to figure out customs and all
Oh, I
this
believe
stuff.
it. How is it, like, if people want to do people ever travel with their chairs
Yep.
on planes? Is
We-
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've driven with our chairs and planes.
We recently took a trip to Tennessee,
Yeah.
and we showed up with like 3 chairs, and we weren't sure how it was going to go. We worried that they might say you can only take 1, but it was with Delta, and they were like, "What are these things?" We said they're all-terrain wheelchairs. They said okay, and they took off the covers and they checked them. The TSA agent came out to the desk where you check stuff
Gate.
and inspect them there, and they sent them. It didn't
That's
cost
fine.
us anything.
Wow.
We've also had customers who go on a trip and use the Extreme Motus as their only wheelchair. So we took this plus our off-road wheelchairs. These people only took their off-road wheelchair and they left their everyday wheelchair at home. So they went through TSA, through security with the chair and checked it at the gate. And so there's like multiple ways that you can do it.
Gotcha.
But the airlines have always been really cool about it. We're going to Atlanta next
Love
week.
that.
We're taking 3 plus this.
Yeah.
And
And
if it's for a person, if it's a mobility device, they're just like, you're good to go.
Okay. That's so awesome.
Yeah.
You're going to have tons of fun in Atlanta. It's very pretty there right now. Colors are
Cool.
changing.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That's so fun.
Cool.
What would you say is the biggest difference between, I mean, I know that they have different wheels, it's like a different style, but why not just use the all-terrain all the time? Is this more comfortable or?
Yeah, a chair like this
Yeah.
is specifically designed and fitted to a person's
Okay.
body. So the way this curves around, this has a air cell cushion in here that helps prevent like pressure sores.
Yep.
And the everyday wheelchair. We do have some customers that there's a young woman in Utah named Lily. She takes her chair to school with her every day. It's the chair that she lives in. She's more comfortable in it.
Gotcha.
And we usually take this cushion out of Sam's regular wheelchair and put it in the Extreme Motus, so because we're banging him up pretty good.
Yeah.
And we got to keep a soft chair to make sure he doesn't get hurt.
Of course. And what would your dream be for Extreme Motus? What's the big picture? How do you want to change the world moving forward with the company?
I'll let Sam answer that one. That's
Okay.
a hard question.
Boss said today he wants to get butts and seats.
Yeah, we say we want butts and seats.
Love
But
that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
we still have an uphill battle as far as
Ben.
market saturation. Like there are certain products that if you are injured that everybody just seems to know about.
Yeah.
And we're not on that list yet.
Not-
So we
Okay.
Not
have
yet.
a long way to go before we're like a household name within
Yeah.
the disability community.
Gotcha. What would be a household name that you like kind of almost look up to, like you want to grow
There's-
like them?
There's a company called Action Track Chair, they make a chair that it's motorized and it has like tank treads on the side,
Oh,
and they're
wow.
cool. However, they can weigh 500 pounds and cost $15,000 to $20,000.
Yeah.
So to use that, you have to have like a truck and a trailer to get it where you're going. Whereas our thing, I could just pick it up and toss it in the bed of my truck. It was so easy to go viral on TikTok when we first started. And I was a YouTube guy since 2006 or something, prehistoric YouTube.
Right.
And that's what I started doing. And then I was getting, a couple hundred views on YouTube. It's hard to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So I took a video that was 3 minutes long and I cut it into 3 pieces. And I uploaded those 3 pieces to TikTok and got 900,000 views. And so I was like, oh, I guess we're TikTokers now. And we just got so focused on TikTok. And it was great. It helped us get the word out. But I neglected, I should have done both. It's hard to make time to do both.
Totally.
Especially when TikTok is vertical and short. And it can be longer now, but at the time it was 30 seconds was the most. That you could do. And TikTok or YouTube is horizontal and long. So it was really hard to make the time to create content for both platforms. But it would be great to have a bigger following on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Now, do you do any of the TikTok dances, Sam?
I
can think of one, but I don't know if it's safe to tell on this podcast. Sam is terrible at keeping secrets.
Oh.
He loves to share news and he loves to tell stories. So feel free to edit this for the podcast. But we went on a trip to Phoenix, and it was the first time in Sam's whole life that he'd gone on a trip with just a friend and his brother or parents weren't with him. So I said, Sam, when do we go to Phoenix? I'm going to take you to Hooters, but you can't tell your mom. And it takes all of the willpower that he can summon to not tell his mom. And for weeks, I was building this up like it was the biggest thing that someone could do. And while we were at Hooters, the waitresses did a dance with Sam.
Oh.
Yeah, because they found out that Sam was TikTok famous, and they all want to be TikTok famous.
Of course.
And so I was like, do you girls know any of those TikTok dances? Oh yeah, they did one with him. And so that's the dance story.
I love it.
My face was bright red.
He was a little shy.
And I'm like, what?
He was a little shy. It was very funny.
Did Mom ever find out?
Mom found out the second we got home. Before we even got in the house, Mom found out. I got thrown under the bus. Immediately.
You're just excited. Hey, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that.
To share news.
I love it. Just last question. For people who are inspired by your work and what you're doing, whether it's from TikTok or from our podcast or, whatever, how can they help? How can they be a part of what y'all are doing?
Follow us on social media. We often have customers who will start a GoFundMe to get their own chair. And when they do that, we will try to do a live broadcast with them or share their GoFundMe.
Love that.
And so you can help buy a chair for someone. You can hit that share button on Facebook when you see us come up and help us spread the word about our company.
I love that. Do you hope to someday have some sort of donation platform?
Yeah, we're working donate? And talking about having like a nonprofit arm of our company because people ask us all the time, can we donate? How can we donate money? And sometimes there isn't a GoFundMe happening when they ask that. So trying to figure all that out and how it can be, there are rules to follow. So we want to do it right.
Gotcha.
And we're trying to learn about that.
Gotcha. No, I bet there's a lot of red tape.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it would be cool. I can think of a lot of people I know that would love to, fund people who need a chair, people who can't afford it. so that everyone can have the same experience. I mean, for the most part, the outdoors are free,
Right.
Yeah.
And
I guess the dream, I think you're asking this question, but the dream that we have is that every national park and every state park will provide accessibility equipment to people like Sam's family, whether they rent it or provide it for free, whatever. But provide it on location so that you can go on a road trip and have that accessibility equipment there and not have to put it in you can fold the chair up and it gets a lot smaller, but it's when you're going on a road trip, the car's full already with everybody's suitcases and snacks and stuff. So if they could be provided at the location, then that'd be great.
That would be really cool.
That's the dream,
That it's the dream.
We have a few places like the Anchorage, Alaska Zoo has one of our chairs. They have a lot of paths that are not paved, and so they provide that.
That's so cool. Do you hear them about them using it a lot, or?
Yeah, it gets used a lot.
That's really cool.
I've tried to get like hard numbers from them, but they're like, I don't know, almost every day. Like it's being used. That is
so cool.
Yeah.
Because it would be nice, even though, I mean, y'all live here in Utah, but if you did want to go to Zion's and didn't want to,
or if you want to go to Zion's and you're flying to Las Vegas, like you could come to us and get a free loaner chair. But if you fly to Vegas and go to Zion's, we're a little bit out of the way. Right. So it'd be nice to have somebody, whether it's an outfitter in town there in Springdale that rents it, or it's the national park. We get a lot of questions about liability, but and it's funny to me because a person could go. I can go to Angel's Landing in National Park and fall to my death. And that happens all the time, right? You hear about that in the news all the time. They're not worried about that liability.
No.
But when it's a person with a disability, it's almost like a little bit of a form of, what's the word? Like being biased against someone because they look different or they can't walk or whatever. They're discriminated against. That's the word I'm trying to think of. So it seems to me they already have liability figured out. But,
do you feel like you guys run into that a lot? A lot of kind of like, I guess, discrimination or feeling like, I imagine that would be hard for people in the disability communities, feeling not treated equal or feeling like a burden. Do you feel like you run into a lot of that, or is it more of just like a lot of excitement for the chair?
Most people are very welcoming and will go out of their way to help. On social media, though, when we have a video that gets millions of views, then people can come out of the wood. The trolls come out underneath their bridge, and they leave some really mean comments. And I try to tell myself that I can't be offended by that stuff, and that it's a good thing, somehow. Like if please, don't go and get 1 million of your troll friends to leave comments on my video that tells the algorithm that this is an interesting video and gets more people to watch. That'd be so horrible.
Right.
So that's how I like to look at it. I rarely delete any of those comments, and sometimes I'll try to. Rare occasions I have like won people over.
Really?
In the comments, like trying to kill them with kindness and educate them.
Totally.
Like one guy says, homie's missing a chromie. And I said, actually, that's people with Down syndrome who are missing a chromosome. He goes, I don't care. And I go, well, I just don't want you to look silly on the internet while making fun of people with disabilities. I'm just trying to educate you. Just go away.
Well, I'm so glad that y'all get to do this. And I honestly think it's so cool. I've never heard anything like it. I've never seen one. Yeah. I really would. Seriously, I'm serious about that offer. I want to go on a hike with you guys. We would love that.
That'd be great.
And I'm really grateful that y'all get to do stuff like this. I totally agree that the outdoors are healing, and it's something that we all share in common, that we live on this earth. And I'm so happy that there are people like you, Ryan, who are giving people like Sam an opportunity to just live life to the fullest. And I'm glad that there's people like Sam who can prove to the rest of us anything's possible. You can do anything that you set your mind to.
Sure.
It goes both ways. I'm helping Sam and Sam's helping me, because there's many times where I don't want to get off the couch. And I think I know that if I go out there with Sam, we'll laugh like we have been laughing here, and we'll have a good time, and that keeps me motivated too. For my own, the sake of my own health.
Sure.
That keeps me going.
I love that. Sam, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Does Ryan ever drive you crazy when he's got to move you around and push you around in your chair?
No.
No.
I'm used to it.
You're used to
when
it?
I'm like really grouchy and I complain a lot. Does that drive you crazy?
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Yeah.
That's a good friendship then.
Yeah, we're like the odd couple. Old married couple that gripes to each other about stuff sometimes. But mostly we're laughing and having fun.
Good.
Having a good time.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. We've loved having y'all. This has been really entertaining, but also really educational for me. And I'm sure it's been the same for Bryce. And
Thanks for having us.
thank you for driving out here and joining us. Seriously.
Yeah.
We're so grateful to have y'all. Am I good? Can I stop there? There's always a sign off, but I hate it. So I usually do it when nobody's watching.
I usually say, Sam, give us a sign off.
Sam, give us a sign off.
Do you know who I
He
am?
says, don't you know who I am? That's what
Bill.
Bill Allred on X96. He has a morning show, and every morning he signs off like that. Sam loves that shit.
Well, I love it. I think we'll use that as our sign off. It's perfect. Well, thank you so much again. And look forward to being friends with you guys. Seriously, This is so cool. Thank you so much for joining us on The Good Effect, and a special thank you to our sponsor, Devote. We hope that you guys will join us next time.